And what is up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here on the official YouTube channel for the Southside Boys. As you guys know, we're trying to separate it from Tino's time. As Tino, you can go find all the wrestling and everything else you want over there. But for now, all your baseball needs, come and find it over here on the Southside Boys, a YouTube channel, and go follow all the other social medias on the ticker below and everywhere else you can find us. But the season has begun. Spring training has begun, but it's getting warmer outside. It's sunnier, longer, and it's ready for another summer of Chicago White Sox baseball. So we're here today to talk about everything that is going down and everything that will go down. So let's have a good show, and let's get the guys in here, and let's not waste any time, and let's get Deech in here, my co-host since day one-ish. Deech, how you doing, bro? And how are you ready for another baseball season?
Yeah, I mean, as bad as they're going to probably be, it's still baseball season. You can at least get excited for the first month or so. As long as they don't go like 5-30 or whatever, win a few games.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, if they win like 5 games in the first like week at like 10 days or something like that, like that's sad that's better than what they did all of April. So we have not seen this man, though, since last season. We've seen Deech a couple times throughout the offseason. But let's welcome back to the Southside Boys. It's Justin. Justin, how you been, man? How was your offseason? How was your winter? How's everything been since last time we saw you on the channel?
Better than watching this product. No, good. I'm chilling. It's been a while. It felt like a really long off season, which it's not that I'm really eager for them to get back, I guess, but I'm excited to have baseball back.
Yeah, and
it's a good feeling.
That's what being at Sox Fest, and as you know, Deech and I went to Sox Fest. It kind of gives me that baseball feeling back because after watching football and everything else like that, it takes me a minute to get back into baseball. I don't know, that Sox Fest. It wasn't the greatest, but it still got me back into baseball and everything else. But we are only 2 weeks away from today 2 weeks from right now, we'll be watching the game wherever we all will be. I think all three of us will actually be at the game. I think so, right? You guys were talking about before that you guys are actually going together.
Yes, we're going with my dad, my brother, and little Justin and I. Are you going in the stadium club before?
As always, yeah. I'm gonna try to get a ticket to like an actual seat, but as of right now, yeah. I don't trust my uncle after what he pulled on Sox Fest, so I don't know yet. I'm kind of just like, but yeah, I do want to go, so we'll see what happens, but hopefully it's just nice outside because we all know how the weather can be in March and here in I guess not here because I'm not in Chicago anymore, but yeah. So we have a lot to talk about, though, because spring training has been underway. The Sox have been. I have not been able to watch all the games, and obviously they don't post all of the games on the channel for spring training. So the ones that I have been able to watch, I've seen a few good things, and the few that we haven't been able to watch, I have seen, and I get the updates. And there's been a couple of games that they've scored some runs, and we all know that we did not see that last year. But what I want to open up with is something that just recently happened, and something that we were actually, I think it was last night or this morning, that we had Colston Montgomery's status for opening day. So, Deech, do you want to talk about that and what exactly was said about Colston and everything else and what's been going on with him?
Yes, he was having back spasms, so obviously they immediately were like, okay, we're shutting you down for a couple days to let it get back to normal. Apparently today, I think I saw, multiple of the reporters, Chuck Garfien was the one that sticks out. He stated that Colson will be back in the lineup and good to go this weekend. So probably I would guess Saturday. But I don't know. He's had back issues before, so it's a bit alarming. And it kind of makes you wonder, is he going to crack the opening day roster or will they send him down to AAA?
Yeah. Justin, do you have anything to say about Colston? I know you kind of haven't really kept up too much with all of these guys or anything else like that, but
I'd like to see him on opening day at the one game I'm probably going to go to.
He said the one.
That's probably my main thought. No, if it feels like he's ready, there's not really a point. The back beyond this, the back thing just worries me a lot because that's just not an injury that you want to start having when you're young. I mean, multiple people have brought it up, but like Joe Creedy, like when the back starts to go, you're fucked. And so I'm worried about that with him in general. But, you know, I mean, that's not going to be any different if he's in AAA or in the majors. So might as well bring him up and see what you got in him. And you need shortstop's a very important position. They don't have one. So
no, it's not like you have like Paul DeYoung sitting there either. I mean, Jacob Amaya is
that would be who
guy
it is.
who would probably play. I mean, who the fuck wants to see that on opening day?
I mean, nobody, but we just might very well have to sit there and watch it, you know. And, you know, the thing that I think it's a White Sox thing because I swear throughout Twitter, I think the first like 3 things I saw was like injuries because the other guy that was banged up was Mr. Corey Lee, and he has been banged up, and apparently we'll obviously have to see how that all plays out and everything else like that. But with Corey Lee possibly being out, Deech, who do you think? And obviously we've talked about Edgar Quero, we've had Elijah on the show last year and everything else like that. I do not think he'll be ready for opening day, but hypothetically Corey Lee is not the starter for opening day. Who is starting for catching?
I ironically was talking to Elijah yesterday and asked him the same question. And I was like, do you really think they could run out Matt Thaiss and Omar Narvaez?
Narvaez, that's right.
He was like, I would absolutely, he said something like he would hate it, but it wouldn't, like, it could obviously happen if Corey Lee's hurt. Although his x-rays came back negative, so they said he's just day-to-day right now. So you kind of hope because –
that's how it starts with all of them, though. I mean, this is years and years of this shit. I mean, seriously, though.
Yeah.
It's like it's a new season, and it feels new.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same shit.
Day-to-day just because they didn't want to put someone on the DL, and then they're back, you know, then they're out for whatever. But is there Omar Narvaez? I didn't even know that they had him until I saw that on my score alert today that he had an RBI. But he, I mean, that's at least a big league player, right? Has he fallen off a cliff? He was all right for Milwaukee, I feel like.
Yeah, he was actually pretty well. I think he played pretty good in San Diego last year. I remember there was a few games, or not like a few games, or like a few spurts throughout the season that he was having like decent power and everything else. Because they kept talking about him. I'm like, why are they talking about him in 2024? But I guess here we are. He's probably going to be our catcher on opening day. Seeing our lineup on opening day is going to be somebody's going to have to take a picture of that, and let's hope that like it's like oh god, I don't even want to look at it. I'm scared. But we'll have to obviously see what happens with Corey Lee. 14 days a lot can happen in 14 days. Who the hell knows? Anybody can get hurt from now, and a lot can happen.
It's still 3 weeks away too. It's not 2 weeks away.
Is it 3? I thought it was 2.
Yeah.
Is it 3? Okay, well then I'm sorry. Thank you for telling me that.
March
You're
Madness.
right. You're right. Thank you, Justin, helping me with my dates. I don't even know, man. I'm still reeling from John Cena turning heel on Saturday. I feel like I'm living in an alternate universe. Anyway, so 3 weeks away, so that actually helps, and hopefully everybody will be healthy by then because I'm sick and tired of these injuries. But somebody I'm excited to see this year, and somebody that we met at Sox Fest, and Deech, I think you did meet him, Mr. Brian Ramos, man. I don't know what it was about him, but he was probably my favorite guy to meet. And just everything that we talked about or everything that he talked about, everything that he did last year, I'm really excited to see him play this year. And from what I've seen, though, he has only been playing DH. And we do not have Eloy no more, so that's good because Eloy's now in Tampa, and good luck to you, Eloy. But how would you guys feel about Brian Ramos DHing, or would you rather see him play the field and everything else like that? So, Justin, I'll start with you on that. And
the debate is what, him or Vargas at third base? If you were to play on defense?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be more. I guess I'm more fine with giving him the nod over Vargas, just because I don't think Vargas left a very good taste in anybody's mouth last year with anything he did, or I mean, you feel for him. He got shipped from the world champions to the worst team in league history,
and still gets a ring.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, if Ramos is the DH, I'm interested to see what they have in his bat, but I also feel like He's got to be better defensively than Vargas, though, right? I feel like he had some flashes last year where he looked okay over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing with him is his defense was a lot better once obviously we saw it Moncada and everything else like that. And I thought there was no reason that Ramos should have got sent down last year as many times as he did. They should have just brought him up and kept him up, but they just kept sending him down.
They don't know what they're doing with any of that. That's the problem.
I mean, that's true, but
I think it's going to get funky. I mean, you have now Austin Slater's dinged up and they said he could be ready for opening day, but who knows? Benintendi yesterday got interviewed again and said he's still pushing to be ready for opening day.
But we didn't even talk about Benintendi.
I mean, I will be not pleased if Oscar Colas is the starting left fielder.
He left the game hurt today.
Well, I did see that, so I was
like,
okay, there's a little bit of. But no, I mean, you could easily see. I mean, they may get so desperate they throw Vargas out there. Dominic Fletcher, Zach Deloche, and all them. Or I think Deloche got DFA'd. Dominic Fletcher hasn't really shown enough where you're like, you can play over. Let's just see. I mean, Vargas had the exciting, I gained 20 pounds of muscle this offseason or whatever speech at the beginning. So. I mean, if you're Chris Getz, you kind of have to make sure he's in the lineup quite a bit. Otherwise, it just really starts to look pretty bad on you. But
I mean,
the trade.
So I don't know. We'll see. I think, I mean, at this point, Ramos really, I would think, would need to start throwing soon. They've pretty much said he had something wrong with his arm and they shut him down from throwing. But if he's going to start at third base, you would think in the next couple of days he would need to be out there. He's not going to be ready. So
and I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Vargas is just, he doesn't seem like he really, maybe that's just the way he is, but he just doesn't seem like he has like that personality or anything. He just like, I don't know.
I agree.
He doesn't like going back to like Sox Fest, because again, that's all I got really got right now with all of these guys. But man, he was probably like the guy that I was least excited. Like, he was just so miserable. I tried to talk to him, tried to have a little conversation. He just completely ignored me. I was like, okay, have a nice day. And it's just like, I feel like, like you talk about culture and all of that blah, blah, blah nonsense that I don't know how I feel about Vargas. And hopefully he does show up and, again, go out there and just play baseball. But until he does that, I really just don't get excited to see him on the field. And, getting the score alerts, some of these games, seeing the White Sox score runs has been exciting. But then again, it is only spring training and they got the split squads and all of that nonsense. And, so. And they're also not playing Major League, MLB pitchers. So. That is the one thing I will say, though, that as I feel like I talked about this, too, in one of my shows, is I feel like the spring training and the preseason for sports, the players should play in it more because the injuries happen. And that's how it happens, is because these guys sit out and then they don't play. And then they expect that opening day they're going to be ready when if you need to like get stretched out a little bit. So I hope that the guys are at least playing enough and everything else like that. So we're not here week 3 and we got 7 guys on the IL, because I'm sure we're going to have that anyway, but
I was going to say that. I don't know. That seems unavoidable at this point.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, they have brought in a lot of veterans like Martin Perez. We've seen Omar Narvaez. We've talked about a couple other guys on there, but Justin, is there one veteran on the team that you're excited to watch, or do you not know any of the veterans on the team right now?
No. Come back to me. No. No, not really. What you said, Perez, obviously they got him for the rotation. I don't.
They got so I mean you have talk.
Oh no, I like what's his face, the guy who was on Boston. Did they have Bobby Dahlbeck? Is that who I'm thinking of? Is he even going to make the team?
Play like at all?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I was excited about that when it happened, but I haven't seen his name. I haven't seen his name since, I don't think.
Yeah, so, but, I mean, they have, like, Joey Gallo, who...
yeah. I was waiting for it. I thought, that's who I thought you were definitely...
You got Joey Gallo,
yeah.
Josh Rojas. Brandon Drury's actually been playing well.
Yeah.
So,
that's probably the right answer, I guess.
No, that's where it's going to get weird. I mean, there could be some more veterans than we think on opening day roster.
Well, Gallo's not making the team, right? I feel like that was it reminded me was it Mike Moustakis last year or the year before?
Yeah, where everyone was like, "Oh, Moose," it's like, fuck that. No one wants to see that.
Yeah, and he didn't even make the team.
No. Yeah, I don't even think we saw him play one play for the White Sox.
No, he didn't. He didn't make the team. That was that.
Because he's on a minor league deal. I think the ones you have to. I think Rojas, Talkman. I don't even think Jury's on
that. Was their best signing. That was their best move.
What Talkman?
Yeah, he has potential for power, which you need.
He's going to lead the team in on base by probably a landslide.
You would know. You did go to 45 Cubs games last year?
Yeah. I had a partial season ticket plan. No, he's a good player though.
No, he definitely.
He's
is.
not a needle mover, but he's competent, and they have not had that. And he can play center if 88 goes down and/or gets traded. But they have Michael Taylor too. Is he that?
He's hurt already.
Is he really? Oh my God. I can't keep up with all of it. I thought I did good listening to some podcasts, looking up some stuff, and there's still a bunch of stuff I missed. That's why I hate this new network. I can't see and I can't watch what the hell's on. I need these post game shows and all of that to keep me updated.
I will say though, okay. The Talkman one I was fine with. The Drury one, fine with. Rojas, even Gallo, you're like, whatever, it's a minor league deal. The Slater was just an absolute why?
Wasn't Slater from the Diamondbacks?
No, I think he was on. I know he was on Baltimore and maybe Washington or something like that.
Baltimore, I was thinking of.
Or maybe the Phillies.
I was thinking the Reds, but that could be way off. I would have them.
There's just, when you dumpster dive as a White Sox fan, you kind of want the top tier of the dumpster, and we apparently the lower level guys who are under $2 million. And
can't have that. We're not going to spend money. Remember that. I still cannot believe when I was looking at the pictures of South, I cannot believe you spotted Jerry Reinsdorf. I low-key did not even realize his ass was there all weekend. I was looking for him, and I just did not find him at all. Man.
Oh, yeah. He came out on the balcony, and I saw him, and within 3 minutes, the rest of the people kind of noticed what was going on, and then it just started the sell the team chants and everything like that. So he ran away off of the balcony and never to be seen again.
Never. Yeah, literally, I don't think we saw him ever again. But shall be interesting to see what veterans do and will, and which players will and won't make the team, if I could speak right now. But as Justin corrected me, we do have 3 weeks left until the season begins. So that will be told as the weeks go on, and as in the next couple of weeks, we'll know who does and who does not as players get sent down and sent up and all of that. But it's been a lot of things that we've seen bad so far, and I specifically that Oscar Colas bouncing off his head or whatever the hell he was doing, I feel like. And I'm really hoping that's not what we're looking forward to this year. But who is somebody, Deech, I know your answer, so you can't give me Colas. Who is somebody you're not looking forward to seeing this year? Deech, I'll ask you first.
Oscar, I'm going to say Oscar Colas.
Come on, you can't give me, you got to give me somebody else, man. Come on.
There's not anyone else.
Everyone else they're still rope for. They got rid of most of the guys who we were probably done with collectively. Colas and Andrew Vaughn are the only 2 names you can really give here.
Andrew Vaughn is one where it's just you need to get over this. He plateaued after his second year. His stats just stayed the same. And it's kind of, this is his year. You either perform or you're not part of the future whatsoever. You probably aren't even part of the future regardless, but at least perform so we can trade you for another Miguel Vargas or something.
That's what you want, is another Miguel Vargas? I really don't, though. Shit, I'd rather have Dizarm or however the hell you say his name. I'd rather have him play flipping for the White Sox. Shit, put somebody else out there, man. I can't. I'm so sick of it. That's the one thing I'm kind of worried about with opening day. I'm my ass driving all the way back to Chicago, and they're gonna lose 15-2. Watch, and I'm gonna scream. And they're also playing the Los Angeles White Sox. If you guys did not know that they have the entire infield besides freaking Jose Abreu. So That's exciting. Even Chucky Robinson on their team. I
didn't realize they had Yolmer.
Yeah, they got Yolmer, they got Anderson, and they got Moncada, and then they got Chucky. All they got to do is freaking go sign freaking what's his name for opening day. We'll be ready to go.
What was comical about Yohan is they signed him and they're like, we don't know if he's going to be the third baseman or like if he'll make the team. And then Rendon, of course, is like just inevitably out immediately. And it's like, all right, Yohan, you literally were handed third base again. Let's see what games will you last this time.
I'm just happy. I think that might be the biggest thing this year. Is like we just don't have to worry about those guys anymore. I don't have to
Yeah, that's what I was saying when you were asking who you're like least looking forward to watching. Like they're gonna stink, but like the guys that we had really grown tired of are all out of the building for the most part.
Besides the guy to the right, left, and right to you.
Right? Well, yeah, but I mean, Luis is different because he's actually been good. I mean, at least a couple of years ago, he was good.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, if there's some players and like they got to just go out there and just play good baseball. And it's sad that even I forgot what podcast I was listening to, and they said they're like, if the Sox win 60 games, that's a 20 game more advantage and they'll still lose 100 games. Where it's like,
that's why I'm saying,
that's how bad it was.
Before we got on here, like 100 losses, it seems like a very safe bet to me. I mean, you're talking about a drastic turnaround for a team that doesn't have. I mean, they had Crochet and Fetty at least at the top of their rotation last year. Crochet is a very good pitcher. Fetty was very serviceable. They don't have either of them. You don't even have like it's not even like they're any good, but like Moncada or Eloy, like there's not. They didn't exactly replace them with studs. They're just other bad players. So I don't. There's not. If they lose less than 100, that is a testament to Venable.
Yeah. And we're talking about pitching. I mean, right now I'm just looking at it. The two starting pitchers that I see that are obvious it says starting pitchers 4 and 5. It's Martin. I can't speak.
Martin Perez.
Martin Perez. There we go. He can't speak, but I do think that he's going to be the opening day starter. I feel like he's the veteran for the team. I feel like.
Is it not Davis Martin?
Well,
I hope it's Davis Martin or Cannon.
We're not going to have people come out and watch fucking Martin Perez on opening day, I don't think, right? You got to have it be Davis. You have to have it be a name that people at least has pitched for the Sox. Cannon would be one thing, but I was under the impression Davis Martin I know it hadn't been announced, but that he was pretty much the guy.
I would hope so. I mean, out of all of them, the like kick change or whatever he added and has, I mean, I don't know. Just give him the nod at this point. We don't really. I'm hoping it's not Perez only because if it's Perez, I'll see him like 5 other times probably throughout the season, and that's probably enough. So
you're not wrong. Yeah, no, and I was just that because that's what I've heard in most of the podcasts and everything else like that. And I do think somebody like a Cannon, a Martin, or freaking what's his name? Maybe Sean Burke too, maybe somebody like that. Even and that's the thing is I want to see somebody like that. I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to go out there to see Martin Perez. We'll see him freaking a million times until hopefully he does good and we trade him for somebody. I want to see somebody.
Well, yeah,
and again, I think it would be a good opportunity for somebody like that with a Martin, a Cannon, a Thorpe, somebody like that to give them the opportunity on a big stage because hopefully eventually they are the opening day starters and
so their rotation is Perez, Burke, Martin, Cannon, and Thorpe. That's what I would
pretty much would be.
Thorpe's hurt right now.
Of course he is.
So, it's more recovering where I don't think they're gonna. I mean, there's no point in rushing him back to like get hurt. So it's probably gonna be Bryce. I mean, that 5th spot's kind of open.
So that was gonna be the other guy was Bryce Wilson. They have as the 5th starter right now.
Why the hell did they get rid of Touki Toussaint? I felt like he was a serviceable 5th starter.
I mean, he did perfectly fine last year. I feel like.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of it too, though. I think a lot of it kind of messed up when Kai Busch got hurt. Obviously, that happened about like a month ago, and I think they had a lot of high hopes for Kai Busch, but obviously him having Tommy John this year and being out, probably
was Tommy John.
Huh?
I didn't even realize it was Tommy John.
Yeah, it was Tommy John. You gotta love it.
So no, and then they couldn't resist from bringing back Mike Clevenger again.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we brought back Clevenger. That's right.
Oh my God, they just can't help themselves, man.
That's right. I completely forgot about Clevenger.
Don't get me wrong. The fans who just cry about it just to all have their little parade for each other are very annoying. But like, why are they doing this? What? Why? What? Literally, why?
Well, this
what
is
the point.
So apparently now Prelander Baroa is hurt. He likely is going to be on the IL to start the season, just to add to that list of how
injuries
we've already named. So the closer position is pretty much open. And even I think it was that Brooke Fletcher and Chuck Garfien. Brooke Fletcher, I think, is new to like the CHSS.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
They said Clevenger has a pretty good shot of being the closer to start the year.
What?
Whatever.
Where did you see that at?
I don't even know that other guy you just named was going to be their closer. I don't even know. You sent that name in the text. That was what I had in mind earlier when I said I didn't even know all those names you mentioned. What's his name?
I mean, there's Shane Smith, who's probably, I mean, he was throwing like 99.
Create a player.
He's a great.
Shane Smith, that was like our Rule 5 draft pick this year. So, I mean, he was more of a starter, but I mean, if he's throwing hard, you might as well. I don't know. Clevenger as a closer kind of scares me. They're trying to justify it as he has a ton of pitches, and it's like, well, most closers are throwing like 100 miles per hour. I don't think
greatest closer of all time through one fucking pitch. I mean, that's a terrible.
Who's the greatest closer of all time?
Well, that would be Mariano Rivera. It would be. I think that's the textbook answer, right?
That's what I was thinking of. I just
unanimous Hall of Famer. First ballot.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely should be, but I mean, I think the White Sox just trying to come up with more excuses that they can just to like make themselves feel better.
I mean, that would just be bad if Clevenger is the closer. I mean, all those people who despise him, it's going to be like nightly. You're going out there and like,
and everything that you do is going to be even more heightened to where you got to make sure that you're on your A game every single day. And that's the biggest thing. Like we talked about it a lot last year. There were a lot of games that this team lost by 1-2 runs in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning because they can't have a bullpen for the life of them to close out a game.
Rick Hahn would never.
He said Rick Hahn tried to have 2 closers. It just didn't work very well. You know, we tried to get the Cambrel Liam Hendricks effect. It just all went downhill after that, you know. But I mean, I think that's gonna be the biggest thing. If they could close out games, I think that's where those 15, 20 extra wins come in that make it from 40, whatever the hell, the 63, 4, 5, hopefully high 60s.
You got to score runs though.
Hey, they've been doing it in the spring in spring training from what I've seen.
One game wasn't a tease. That was like when they like went off like Cincinnati, whatever, and you're like, yes, the offense clicked, and then it went back to like averaging 2 runs a game.
That was the game after my birthday, and I always remember. I'm like, so did the Sox just do that for me for like because I forgot they like something whatever that, and then that's literally what happened, and then that was like the best game of the year. They didn't score more than I think 6 runs and for whatever. Shit, there's games that Chuck's talking about on the podcast that I don't even remember from last year, and I watched every game last year. There was not one game that I sadly missed because I haven't. Whatever.
I will admit you probably watched more baseball than me, which is shocking because I do really enjoy this team. But like last year was it was a punishment. I would go cone in the corner and turn it off.
Yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. Or like you said, you would wait till the 7th inning and then turn it off because it would just you knew that it was going to end. And that's the biggest thing I think about this year. It should be interesting. So, Justin, I know you said you have to go, so I don't want to keep you too long. So I appreciate you coming and hanging out as always, and we'll see you next week.
It was great to be back, fellas. Take care of yourselves and go Sox.
Enjoy your night, Justin.
See you.
Y'all as well. Appreciate it.
So let's get to the one guy we're talking about spring training. Let's get to the one guy that he's been on the team forever. It's Lennon Sosa, and he's trying to become Sammy Sosa. He's killing it this spring. Do you think he could keep this up during the spring training or after spring training, or do you think this is exactly what we always see with these guys, and then he's gonna suck in this? And I think people seem to also forget that they're playing in decent weather right now. They're gonna come here and it's gonna be cold, and it's not gonna be fun. Shit, there's snow on the ground again right now, man, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I mean, you would hope with him, he kind of realizes this is really your kind of last big shot. So, I mean, I'm hoping he does. They were playing him at first base the other day. So, I mean, if you can get that versatility, that's definitely someone. He has pop. He's always had pop off of his bat. It's just, I mean, making contact is half of the team's issue. So,
I mean, if they could all make contact. I mean, the one guy, and yes, it's only been a few things, but from what I've seen, I mean, Kyle Teal seems like he's been killing it. And it seems like a lot of the guys that have been working together and everything, and even from listening to the podcasts and everything, it seems like they're all getting along, they're all working together, all trying to do this, and hopefully, we have ourselves a better season. Because again, we're not expecting a lot, but like I said, high 60s I think would be great. And again, I have no expectations this year. That's why I don't even want to predict the record. Because as we talked about it earlier, if they could just win like more than 5 games in April, it's already a better April than fucking what it was last year. And
yeah,
just make it more watchable and more bearable. Where again, we said it can't get worse, but I mean, I really hope that it can get worse, and hopefully it only gets better. And they all say all the guys have been saying they want to bring a World Series and they're going to contend this year. But let's worry about winning games and playing like clean baseball.
I mean, that's the thing with me. We bought into the whole propaganda thing last year. Remember the acronym FAST?
Oh my God, FAST. Now, how many things have we went through with this? Family, fast, team, change the game. What's going to be the season? What's the slogan this year? 125 years or whatever the hell?
That was my slogan. 100 losses for 125 years.
Yeah, is that what that's what you said?
No, I mean, I think they're probably going to be better. You have to be really you have to try to lose 120 games 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. And I mean, like Justin said too, when we were talking about, I mean, besides a few guys, there really isn't many guys on this team anymore. We just talked about the 3 of them or 4 of them that are now in Los Angeles. A couple of them aren't even playing anymore. Cannot forget about your favorite player ever. I don't want to forget about mentioning him on the channel yet for the first time this year. Mr. Gavin Sheets is on, I think, the Giants now.
Gavin Bonds stands
Gavin Bombs. Yeah. Who are you going to pick for the picks to click, man? You're going to have to pick a new Bombs.
Yeah, used to be my Gavin Bonds because he'd throw there occasionally. So
I think that's the biggest thing. I'm excited to see a lot of these guys that we haven't seen before. And it's kind of sad because you were there with me at Sox Fest. We pretty much met most of these guys and you were only there one day. So it's kind of cool to now see like some of these guys be able to play, or even see like Teal or them in spring training being able to go out there after listening to them. And again, you could say whatever the hell you want, but you go out there and perform and have ourselves, and again, I just want to see better baseball and baseballs that's watchable in Chicago that will make me drive 3 hours to actually want to go and see them. Because as Justin said, man, if they do not play good, I might only go to the 2 other games that I got for Sox Fest because I don't know how I'm feeling about going back and forth to watch this team suck. They have also not won a game that I went to in like 5 years, so it might be me.
I'm locked into my 20 games, so I will.
He said, I'm locked in. Do you want me to take us off the camera? You can try to show everybody where the hell you're sitting. Shit, that might be your view, actually, compared to what it at, because you're in like the first row, aren't you?
Well, I mean, my normal seats are like row 3, but I got the aisle. I don't know. I came to realize my ticket plan used to be in like section 110, and I'm sorry, the further you get into the outfield, my personal perspective is like the view just kind of sucks, and I get too distracted. So mine are like diagonal from home plate, so you can still see all like the pitches and everything and the strike zone. And yeah, I'm row 3, but I mean, that's what I would say. If you sit in the upper deck, the first probably 3, 4, 5 rows are okay, but then you're in the nosebleeds after that, because I don't really like heights, but
yeah, I don't know how you do it.
A couple of rows are tolerable, I guess you could say.
Ugh, I can't do it. But the ticket, I don't know if I told you, but the tickets that they sent me, apparently they're in the gold box. So we'll see. But
that's
the,
normally like behind the dugout, probably like
yeah. Yeah,
20.
so we'll see if that's true or not. Until I get the section for my tickets, I don't believe nothing that they're gonna tell us. But hopefully, because that's how I hate heights, and that's why like I am like so picky with certain seats and games that I go to, because I cannot sit high up. Like I've tried, and I literally start panicking. I don't know what it is, and I just like it freaks me the hell out so much. I am just like not like so. Shall be interesting to see though. But we were talking about promotions and everything. I did want to mention, I think the coolest promotion of the year is the one above me with the 4 pitchers from the World Series team. What do you think? And what's your favorite promotion that they're going to give away this year? I know you get a lot of them. I know you don't get everyone, but
Yeah.
if you could remember, I know they announced they're trying to get everybody there. I think they announced like 20 of them. Shit.
The Dick Allen one was pretty cool.
A bobblehead?
Before our time, but I know a lot of like the OG Sox fans were like, hell yeah.
Before our time.
It was.
Sound old, man. We're already old as it is. Shit. I'm hitting 30 or 29 this year. I don't like it. I'm done with it.
Age is just over, man.
Oh yeah. Coming from the guy that freaking went through the transformation of a freaking Biggest Loser or whatever the hell, making it look easy. Fucking guy. What the fuck?
I'm gonna feel like I'm 18 at the home opener.
Oh, are you now? Are you now? Okay.
21, so I can legally consume alcohol. We'll go with that.
Oh, can you now? You can finally consume alcohol. I'm so proud, man. Rocco's trying to get me to do all, and I'm like, you still got like a couple more years. I'm like, get away from me. I can't with him, But the last thing, and obviously we'll have to wait for Justin. Obviously, a lot can change until opening day. But the last thing I'll ask you is, who do you think does start on opening day? I know we talked about it earlier, but who's your final answer for opening day?
I'm gonna go with Davis Martin. I just would prefer to see him out there
because that's the opening game, right? It's not open like it's opening like
that's the first game is the home.
Okay. Because that was my thing. I didn't know if we opened. I didn't think we opened on the road, but
No.
So, okay. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm gonna say Martin because that's what I've heard from everybody. But yeah, I'm hoping it's somebody like a Davis Martin, a Cannon, a Thorpe, or you said Thorpe's out. How long is Thorpe out for?
It'll probably just be a couple of weeks, but
okay.
It's more like why sit and bother with screwing up his arm if they're not gonna contend this year. So
and that's the biggest thing. You don't want to hurt them when it doesn't mean anything. It's that's the biggest thing. But I think that's all I got here for you for this episode. We still got a couple weeks till spring training is over, and obviously a lot can happen until then. But it will be a lot, hopefully, better when the games begin and when we got some baseball on our TV screens. But for now, let's go through the chat. Let's see who's all here today. We got April in the house. What's up, April? We got Brian in the house. What's up, Brian? Hopefully the Sox are better. Hopefully they should be. We got this freaking I don't like you no more. He says go Cubs. You're lucky I showed that on the screen, Corey. But what's up, Corey? We got Eric in the house. Eric is happy to have us back. Eric, I'm happy to have you back on the Southside Boys podcast. I appreciate you supporting all of the things that we do over there.
Thank you.
He's ready for his Astros. How do you feel about the Astros this year?
I don't know, man. Wasn't it isn't Christian Walker still on the Astros? He got hurt.
Did he?
I think it was like an oblique or something like that, which was the same thing that he had issue with last year. I don't know.
You just don't know with these injuries.
It's kind of like they're just on their downfall at this point.
Yeah, and they traded Kyle Tucker to the freaking Northsiders, man. Out of all the teams, I saw that. I'm like, of course. But you know what? Good for Kyle Tucker. Went to the wrong side, guy. I know Deech does not play 2K, but 2K25 does come out tomorrow, or it does come out tonight at 11 p.m. So if anybody's playing 2K25, let me know. But speaking of video games, MLB The Show 25 does come out March 18th, March 11th for people that buy the early access. We are going to, and I'm going to try to figure out a way to get Deech and Justin to play the show with me here this year somehow, some way. So we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna try.
I got for trash talking.
You got what?
I got banned from trash talking.
You got banned from why stop trash talking so much, guy? Damn. Now that I guess we just answered this. But do you think Garrett Crochet? I haven't even looked at the Red Sox or very many other teams. But do you think Crochet starts opening day for the Red Sox? Is he like their best pitcher now?
I don't know about that, but I do know he is currently listed as, I believe, second in the odds for the AL Cy Young winner behind Tariq Skubal.
That's crazy, man. I feel like though if the Sox did win a lot more games and everything like that, I feel like he might have been in some type of like competition last year. And I mean that's the thing. I'm very interested this year to see how the Red Sox use him, how many innings he has. Like, I mean, because again, all it takes is one injury and he's out for the year, and Chris Getz looks like a fucking genius. Or Garrett Crochet plays the whole season, and then Chris Getz looks like an idiot. So it's going to go one or two ways.
And if Boston doesn't extend them, it's going to eventually look like Chris Getz won the trade unless they go win the World Series in the next 2 years or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. The two guys that they got, is it Braden or Brandon? It's Brandon?
Montgomery.
Is it? Okay. So him and Kyle Teal, man, I don't know. Those two might have been like my two favorite guys that I met, and just listening to them talk and the interviews that they've had and everything. Like even Montgomery's mom and just like how close they were and everything. It's just like, it's nice to know that like there's like guys that actually care, and I don't know. So hopefully this Red Sox trade works out better than the other one, because I still have PT. I still remember what I was doing when they traded Chris Sale, and remember looking at my computer, and they didn't have the picture at this time, and I was sitting next to one of the guys I was going to school with at the time when I was in college and everything. He goes, the White Sox should trade Chris Sale for this great third baseman. He's going to be so good, and here we are, and he sucks. And now he's on the Angels, and now we're going to see him opening day. Brian has a good question. How do you feel? I don't think me and you have really, we kind of talked about that. How do you feel about this new owner possibility and this buzz and everything that's been going on?
Based off of, I would say my personal opinion is Jerry's going to suck him in here. He's going to get that guy to, what is it? The Ishbias? Is that how you pronounce their name? He's going to suck them into sitting there and paying like private funds to that 78th Loop Stadium.
Think so?
And I think Jerry will get that done. And then with that money being guaranteed, it'll kind of be like a handshake deal of like, when I decide to sell, like I'm solely selling to you. Because they bought a bunch of shares of the minority shareholders that had like the deadline of like last Sunday or whatever. So you don't turn down buying the Minnesota Twins to buy more shares of the Sox without more guarantee than just a couple more shares. You know what I mean? And like the one brother I know, his headquarters for whatever business he owns is in Chicago. So, I mean, it's good in the sense that this team is not going anywhere.
Yeah. And I think I think bringing anybody in new at this point would just be great. And again, it would just have to depend on, if Jerry could just give full control or something, it would be great. Just like WWE. I know you don't watch too much WWE, man, but I mean, the way WWE's been since Vince is gone, that's all it took was Vince leaving, and WWE's on a fucking other planet right now. And it just like, it's all it would take with the White Sox to get rid of Jerry's ass, and shit, the White Sox might be the best team in baseball. And shit, even watching how excited AJ Pierzynski got on the Foul Territory podcast and them talking about it and everything else, just be something new and something different. But you're probably absolutely right. That's exactly what's gonna happen. It's all about money and all of that. Happy 20. It's been 20 fucking years since the anniversary of the World Series. I'll ask you this: do you remember where you were at when they won? When we saw the last out in 05? I may have asked you this already.
I was at home with my dad, but I mean, I was younger then, so I mean, I was just watching it with my dad at home.
How old were you?
I don't know the exact age. I just remember being like, I am absolutely staying up later than my like bedtime for school because like this is epic.
So. That was like the best thing about it, because I think too, because I think like I always remember going to school the next few days, and like some of the teachers just did not care because they were up as they were up as late as some of us were because of how excited they were because it didn't happen for such a long time and everything else. And that's exactly. I think I was 10 or 9. Yeah, I was 9, or no, I was 10 because it's past May. So yeah, I mean, it's just, man, it's crazy. It's been 20 years or not, or 19 years. Yeah, 19 years. It will be 20 in October. Disgusting. Here we are. But we got Ozzy Gene in the house. What's up, Ozzy Gene? Appreciate you coming. He said, let me be the owner. I mean, hey, listen, anything works. But that's all for the chat. I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody did come here and hang out as the boys are back, and we're going to be ready for the 2025 MLB White Sox season. Deech, you got anything you want to say before we go here today? I think we covered everything that we can, and obviously, if anything else crazy happens, we'll leave a couple shorts, and we'll talk about it next week when we're all back together.
The only thing I would say, I mean, I'm not telling people what to do, but if you're
tell them what to do,
claiming Jerry's not going to spend, the more you show up at the ballpark, I mean, they're giving you pretty cheap options to go to games here.
What kind of options? You got cheap options for me? True bet.
Well, no, they had that. It's like, I don't know what it's called. It's some sort of pass, but essentially you get like the first, I think it's like 37 or 38 games for $124.
Bet, really?
So it's like a ballpark pass or something like that. But I mean, they're trying to get people to the ballpark. I mean, you don't really want to sit there next off season and listen to the logic being used of like, well, we took financial losses last year, so we're not adding any more to our payroll. It's likely Luis Robert gets traded in at the deadline. So I mean, you're looking at a sub $40 million payroll next year if they don't add anyone. So I mean, as painful as it is, they have some cool giveaways or whatever. I enjoy live baseball.
I do too.
I
think that's the biggest thing. I love baseball in general, and yes, it sucks watching them lose, but I don't know about. There's just something about being there, man. And I'm sure it's different for you because you like live there during the summer, but I'm sure you still get that same feeling every single time you walk into the stadium.
Last season was the first time towards the end of the second half of last season, you were kind of like, damn it, I have another game I have to go do.
I mean, I think that's the thing this year. Let's just hope it's not that bad. Let's just hope it's enjoyable. And let's hope at least if we go to games, they're winning like 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 5 or.
You just want non-painful baseball. Last year, really the last 2 years have just been painful to watch.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't know how much better it's going to get, but I mean, all the guys that are not there no more are gone, and let's hope that's what it was and see what happens. But we still do have it 3 weeks from today. Thank you. I really thought it was 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't know what fucking day it is anymore. But 3 weeks until the opening day, and as you guys know, we'll keep you updated on how we'll be doing everything here on the channel because I think it is a Thursday, so we'll figure it out. But opening day, it will be a good time, and I cannot wait for it. Baseball is back, and summer is almost here. But until next week, everybody, make sure you go hit that subscribe button on the Southside Boys YouTube channel. Go follow all the other social medias. Go and check out the Southside Boys on Instagram and TikTok. Also, I appreciate you guys all that did come in here and hang out for the episode. The first episode, or I guess the second episode, but the first episode, with all of us back together. Guys, enjoy the rest of your week. You know where you'll find me. Find me on Tino's Time tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown and WWE 2K25. Possibly, if I can get it tonight, we might go live tonight, but we'll see what happens. Deech, you want to let everybody know where they can go find you and anything else you got going on this week or anything else?
Yeah, pretty much Southside Deech on any of the social media. You'll be able to find me, and yeah, if you see me at a game or anything, if you're going to be at opening day and want to meet up, cheers, whatever, hit us up.
Yeah, there we go. Well, Deech, I will see you next Thursday. I appreciate you as always coming and hanging out here. And until next Thursday, guys, the Southside Boys are signing out. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow on Tino's Time.